Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another One Try production. Today, we are featuring another Voice of Light in our Voices of Light series here. We have Robby Snow with us here via Zoom. He is better known on YouTube as Araless, and he's an up-and-coming musician. He's got some work out there, and somebody we kind of discovered and we wanted to feature, and he was kind enough to join us here. So without any further ado, Robby, tell us a little about yourself. Who are
Tis
you?
I. Tis I.
Yeah.
So I am a rapper, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist to a certain degree. Like I could do like 4 to 8 bars of something really good, enough to loop.
Okay.
Yeah,
start.
and I'm just like a jack of all trades. And I think I mean that really literally. Like I'm not a master of anything, but I can do a lot of shit. Can I say shit?
You just
Yeah,
did.
it's YouTube.
I just
free for all.
did. I can physically do it, so might as well.
Yeah.
Good. So tell
Yeah,
us
and
a
it's
little.
great.
Tell us a little
Go
bit
ahead, Nick.
about your music and why you're into music and what is it about with you? What's going on?
My music is, so when I do different types of music, different parts of my brain is accessed almost, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, because when I'm gonna write a rap, I mean, I'm writing a lot of words. So I have a lot of thoughts. It tends to be kind of like have like a political overtone.
Okay.
And when I write like a song with the guitar, there's this emotional core that usually gets unlocked, and I end up writing about I end up either writing about really existential stuff, like like consciousness, ego, the stuff you guys were talking about, or
Yeah.
I end up writing about love and emotion, which is kind of tied to that whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew?
And it's really cool to hear about your background and what it is you're doing. Here in a little bit, we're going to take a look at something that you're doing right now. I hear you've got this thing going on with Instagram where you're doing some covers. Tell us a little bit about that.
yeah, because of the pandemic, you can't plan a tour, can't play a show. It's sort of like all of the motivation to because the only reason I really make music is to get on stage and perform it for people, or to get people's reactions in real time. So without that, it's kind of like, well, what am I doing then? Like, what do I do? So I decided, you know what I'll do? I'll just say, fuck it. I'll do covers of my favorite songs. I have this Special Energies playlist on Spotify. I keep adding like songs that just hit me in a certain place. And I just decided a couple weeks ago, you know what I'll do? I'll just pick a random song out of that playlist every week and just do a cover of it. And it's been really fun. It gives me a reason to stay in practice with the guitar, and just gives me that same kind of feeling of creative fulfillment,
Okay.
And I figure with all the just absolute malarkey that's happening right now, just like the negativity, the level of negativity that's weighing down on everybody, maybe I can just do something that might put a smile on your face or give you some catharsis, for a moment.
Positive break.
Just a positive break, just a couple minutes of not necessarily positivity, but a break from the negativity at least.
Sure. Well, let's take a look at one of your clips here on your Instagram. Which song are we going to be looking at here? Tell us a little bit about it and why it's meaningful to you.
So this song is 07's This World featuring Moses, and I absolutely love trip hop. It might be my favorite genre. I don't know why, but it's probably just like nostalgia because it hit right at that time in my formative years in the 90s. But I think my wife actually showed me this before we were married. But this song has like probably the best. This guy's vocals are just incredible. And, like I said, like I'm not saying that I'm going to do them justice, but it's still a beautiful song no matter who sings it if they do it competently, and I think I did it competently. It's a beautiful song.
Okay, so here we go. Here's 07 featuring Moses, This World, performed by Robby Snow or Araless. Here we go.
Happy Friday. It's another favorite song Friday where I pick a song off of my Special Energies playlist, one of my favorite songs, and I try it. So bear with me. Give me grace. I'm going to try this 07 song. It's called This World. If you know it, sing along. Nobody knows it. Another child is born. Another race is won. Another dream is shattered. Another day's begun. And the world is still afloat. No night on Noah's boat. We've only lost the vision of the stars we're meant to be. Another broken heart. Another lesson learned. Another harvest eaten. Another night is gone. Another day's begun. Even your dreams that can become real. 'Cause this world is still afloat. No night on Noah's boat. We've only lost the vision of the stars we're meant to be. The world is filled with love. We still have hope. This world is filled with love. We still have hope. This world is filled with love. We still have hope. This world is filled with love. We still have hope.
I love that song.
It's a great song. Yeah,
It's a great song, man.
Andrew, are you on?
I muted myself so I could focus on the chords and the lyrics. So yeah, for sure, incredible. I loved it.
And
Great
I
work.
don't know if you
Thank
did justice to the original or not, because honestly, this is the first time I've heard this song, and I'm gonna have to go back and check out the original. But man,
For sure.
I'm hearing the same thing in your voice and in the crispness, the crispness and the cleanness of your guitar work. that I heard in your original work. That and you play beautifully, you sing wonderfully.
Thank you.
It's great. Tell me,
I appreciate it.
how do you feel watching yourself sing this song?
Sing that song. Well, it's, obviously I'm like, oh, I should have,
Yeah, of course.
should have done that. Nah, when I
Second chances, right?
Yes, exactly. Oh, if only I could go back. But nah, I mean, I love that damn song so much. So even like watching myself, I just enjoy that song. I really do.
I get it.
So
I get
like
it.
to like just vibe out. Sometimes when I watch myself, I'm like, oh, come on, hit the note.
Super critical.
You know what I mean? But that song, it's so beautiful. It's so damn beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's got
I really like that round at the end, that the world is full of love and we still have hope. And I think, I mean, we were just talking about how you've got zero visibility in near Portland and in Seattle from all the fires in California, all the negativity going on. And I think it's really, that's exactly what people need to be hearing right now. We still have hope. Yeah.
I mean, the world might be ending, but on the off chance that it's not, we should probably just like have hope and continue on the best we can.
Yeah.
What do we have to gain?
Try for a better world,
Right. What do we have to gain from bettering ourselves other than a better society if there is one tomorrow? So it seems like the obvious choice, at least for the three of us, and hopefully for a few more people day by day. We mentioned your newer work, Second Chances, and it's funny, we were shooting one of these Tool reaction videos earlier about some of their earlier work, and Nick had brought up that you can't just go back and fix things because then you leave those good things and those lessons that you've learned behind.
Absolutely.
So, with that, I would love to get your perspective on, where you're going with Second Chances, because I can hear when you play the song that you're questioning whether or not you should go back and do these things, but I don't get a tone of that this is the end goal for you, that I want to go back. It's that there's the question, but you're kind of just leaving it sit. So could you elaborate on that song at all?
Yeah, the song is a little bit tongue-in-cheek because the things that I wish I had, or the things that I talk about in the song are like really not that important, like film school. But it's like, when I think about my life now, it's like, is this it? Like, oh man, I feel like I can't help but think I should have done something differently at some point. But like, that's just the human condition. Like, you always think, oh, I should have done that, or I should have done this, or I should be in a better place, or they have it better than I do. That's just the way.
And the moment we have that thought, that's the moment to start doing what we should have done right now.
Right.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Right?
Move forward on the correction.
Right. So if we had the feeling, I should have gone to film school. Well, study film now.
Right.
Make a short movie. Do something. Go.
No, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And the point is, like, you can't help but, well, I mean, if you have the constitution for it, or the, I guess, what's the proclivity, or I don't know what the word is, but some people are prone to regret. And I'm one of those people. And it's such a useless, ridiculous, futile exercise, but
egotistical even.
It's very narcissistic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, though, that song came from that whole debate of like free will, of like, free will kind of posits that you could, if you were given the same situation, choose something different. But I kind of think we're just sort of like on a track. I don't think that's really how it works. I think I made the choices I made, and that's what it is, and here I am. But I just can't help but think that there's like another version of me that's doing much more epic shit and like in a much better position, some multiversal doppelganger.
And I don't think it gets any more epic than this, man. I think this is this is pretty epic, just the way it is.
Yeah, you're floating in the Aurora Borealis.
Yeah. Excuse me, the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah. connected via time and space, quite literally here.
Mhm.
So, you know, I kind of, whenever I think about those concepts of what could I go back and change, I always simmer down to what I've come to know as the mundane turkey sandwich paradox, where if I don't want to lose any of the really good stuff, the best thing I could change is probably just have a turkey sandwich that day instead of a ham sandwich, and maybe I would have had a better day 15 years ago, because I can't pick and choose. Those bad things that happen prepared me for making a better decision down the road. Those good things that happen, I couldn't be the same person without them. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of how I wrestle with it. I go, well, maybe if I would have switched to a different sandwich, I could still fulfill that need to change something in the past, but really not actually change anything. Just make a very tiny correction moving forward.
Right. No, I mean, I think that hits the nail on the head, man. It's like, if you have a regret about something you didn't do, just do it. Like, what is stop? I mean, like, obviously there are resources and, you know, logistical issues, but seriously, if you want to do something, what the hell, man? This is the only life we got. Just do it. Like, you don't have a second chance, so to speak.
No,
You know?
with the way technology is now, I mean, things are going, it's getting easier and easier to gain knowledge, to pursue interests. It's
Totally.
Yeah. Anyway, wow. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't sure if we still have time. I did want to ask you about some of your earlier work from years ago. We've got the song Rotten Fruit. If you could just briefly tell us a little bit about that song, because I feel like you wrote it a long time ago, but I recently checked it out, and you could have wrote it 6 days or 6 months ago. So, yeah, what's that one all about?
And that's just sad. Let me tell you, that's just sad. Like, I wrote that song probably like 6 years ago. The way that we move, how fast everything moves, that should just be irrelevant at this point, you know, but it's not. And I mean, it goes to, it just goes to show how militarized we've become. And I think I'm not going to get too into it. That whole project, the whole point of that project was to just purge my, like, all my political thoughts that had been just killing me inside. I just got it out. And it's all about colonialism. It's all about, well, anti-colonialism, I guess. It's all about the connectedness, the holistic nature that the system works, where it's like, you know, we're over-policed because of, you know, private prisons and because of the war on drugs, and that stuff has a racial basis for the most part, and racism comes from the colonialism, and it was sort of like almost like necessary to create this race division in order to create a slave class so that we could accumulate capital. It's all connected, you know? Anyway, the Rotten Fruit thing is about police and the fact that they can pretty much do whatever they want, and there's no accountability. And that's why all cops are bastards. All cops aren't bastards because evil people want to go and like just beat people up and, you know, do whatever
It's
they
a
want.
system.
It's the system. It's it's not the people. Like, they're fine people, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure that, you know, my policeman cousin is just a great husband and father. That's not the issue. The problem is that they can shoot your dog, and they can rape a sex worker, and they can kill, you know, shoot somebody 7 times in the back, and then go on paid leave. And even if they get fired, they could go to another department and get a job right away. I mean, that's the problem.
No accountability.
Yeah.
There's no accountability, and there's honestly a culture of self-protection, which is just ironic because it's like protect and serve.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Just from a outside of America perspective, I was talking to a man who's here in Italy who's retired from one of the many police forces they have here in Italy, and he says, no, in Italy, if you're a police officer and you shoot somebody in the back, it does not matter the circumstances. You cannot shoot somebody in the back. You are strung up. You're finished. You go to prison as a police officer for shooting a man in the back. If he turns around suddenly, holding anything, even if it was a phone, if he spins around at you and you shoot him in the front, that's a different story. But if his back is turned to you, you can't shoot him.
And that
And that's
just
the way it
goes to
works in
show.
almost any civilized police force in the rest of the world. Japan,
Absolutely,
Italy,
man.
the police don't use their guns in Japan. They don't.
Right.
They
And I
don't.
mean, it's the same in England. I mean, you have to like get the actual like response team or
The
whatever.
gun guy, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it was even the same. I went to St. Lucia years ago, like 12, 13 years ago. And the police that were on the street cops didn't have guns. When
They've
they
got
got
radios.
called, they had to call a
Yeah.
response team. And then this pickup came and people with shotguns came. But
And they're trained to avoid those sort of confrontations. If you see people running
Right.
down the street with firearms, get out of there. We'll
Right.
send in a unit that knows what they're doing,
Right.
that's been
And that is
trained in
how
this
it-
scenario.
that's how it should be. 9 out of 10 times, you don't need to have a guy with a full arsenal of weapons. But that's the thing. We have descended entirely into fascism, and I'm not being like hyperbolic. Like it is
No,
fascism.
It's
Because
there.
at some point, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, not one person, like Nico said, not one person would have a debate whether somebody deserved to get shot 7 times at point blank range in the back.
Right.
That's just not a thing. But now it's a question. Well, you
Yeah.
know, he had a knife in his car, and plus he had a warrant, and so he deserved it.
And you know, to that, I say, and I've said it commonly before, I don't know who needs to hear this, but any infraction on the law doesn't warrant the death penalty. In fact,
No.
we've only got 1 or 2 laws left on the books in certain states that warrant a death penalty sentence, and it takes years and years and years with lots of appeals before that ever happens. So
Right.
to even begin to suggest that someone deserved their fate that day on that street is to throw out everything that America supposedly stands for. The whole innocent
the
until
biggest
proven
legal
guilty.
the biggest legal principle that goes against is the fact that we're innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
Every single
Yeah,
person,
exactly.
even if they committed a crime, until they get into that courtroom, they're innocent.
Yeah.
And the police have the obligation to ensure that that person has their day in court.
That's right. That is the fundamental legal principle that we have got to protect, is having our day in court. If the cops can just decide who is a criminal and who isn't a criminal, and who's guilty and who's not, and who's guilty enough to get a death sentence,
Yeah.
well, then that's just Judge Dredd. I mean,
Yeah,
it's fascism. It's fascism, and that's where
Okay.
we're
tale
at.
as old as time.
I think I think the answer is more music, more like you're
Connection.
getting more connection.
Community.
Exactly. You know, trying to bring people closer together like you're doing, like I hope that we're doing here. And man, I know that we went longer than we probably planned to, but I think we talked about important things.
Yeah.
Robby,
Yes.
awesome to talk to you. I hope that maybe we get to talk to you again with future projects. Make sure that people get to see. Please check out Robby Snow and his work on his. We'll put some links for
Araless
yeah,
on
Araless,
YouTube.
Rotten Fruit,
Rotten Fruit. Great work.
and Second Chances, 2 of our favorites here at One Tribe, and yeah, and check them out on Instagram as well. Anything else, Andrew?
No, thank you so much. You said everything I was going to say at the end. You know, if you made it,
subscribe, comment.
yeah, if you made it to this channel and you're watching this, consider yourself part of that community that we are referring to. This is a real thing. You've got to reach out, touch people, do what you want to do with your life while you still have one. It is that important.
Yes.
Yeah. And thanks again so
guys.
much, Robby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. It was
All
great to
right.
talk to you guys.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.
All right.